Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Resnick here to talk to you about SoCal Pro Wrestling's New Year's Retribution reaching new heights. It's our next big event. It's January 9th at the Oceanside Boys and Girls Club. And you know what? I don't even think I can call it an event because this is going to be a spectacular. I know that it's the first event of 2010, but I can tell you now, it will be one of the biggest events of the calendar year. It's going to be a monumental night, and you got to be there. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to run down the card, going to go through all the matches, and tell you again why you need to be a part of New Year's Retribution. One of the big matches signed for the card will be Hector Canals taking on Chimera. Now, we've seen Hector Canals these past few months. Hector has forged a new path, so to speak, now that he is entering into a singles career after his former tag team partner, Ricky Mendel, turned his back on Hector back in September at Super Clash. Each month we have seen Hector issue challenge after challenge to the mirror image, continuously getting denied, and we've recently found out that the reason he's getting denied is because the powers that be at SoCal Pro Wrestling and the NWA feel that Hector's temper is a little bit out of control. They are concerned about what might happen if we have Hector Canals in the ring with Ricky Mendel. So Hector Canals will be taking on Chimera. It'll be a stiff challenge for Canals, and the question will be, will Canals be able to keep his temper in control, or will Chimera be able to take advantage of the fiery Latino wrestler? Now, also on the card, we will see the Radiant One, Jason Redondo, taking on newcomer Nick Lovin. The question in this match really is, will Jason Redondo be able to focus on the task at hand, and that's winning a match, because we have seen Redondo seemingly on a losing streak as of late. In fact, in November at Redemption, we saw Redondo's close friend, Scott Lost, tell Redondo that he was washed up, that he was no good anymore, that he didn't want a part of Jason Redondo, that he was holding Scott Lost and Peter Avalon down. So now Redondo is seemingly a man without a country. Well, will that man without a country be able to procure a victory against Nick Lovin, or will these outside distractions provide too much for Redondo, and will we see Nick Lovin score the upset? We'll find out on January 9th. Now, another big match signed for New Year's Retribution. It will be Scott Lost taking on Ariel Star. Now, wrestling fans, if you want to see a technical wrestling classic, two guys who can get in the ring, who can really wrestle, who can apply submission maneuvers, who can brawl, who can fly, who can get on the mat and counter wrestling holds, Scott Lost, Ariel Star. It will be a classic. It's going to be a match you're going to want to see. Both these men on opposite sides of the ring at Redemption. Who will come out the victor? Will Ariel Star perhaps score an upset, or will Scott Lost continue to dominate the SoCal Pro Wrestling scene? Another big match signed. It will be the second ever Mirror Image Challenge. Ricky Mendel says that he is scouring the globe for the best talent that he can find. Well, we'll find out who Ricky Mendel deems to be the best talent on January 9th. We've already seen Ricky Mendel take on Nick Lovin. The question is, who's next for Ricky Mendel? We will find out on the 9th, and also, will Hector Canals come after Mendel? We saw him try to get a piece of Mendel at Redemption. Will Hector Canals finally get his hands on Mendel on the 9th? We'll find out at New Year's Retribution. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that this card has not been advertised as having a double main event. But I gotta tell you, in my opinion, it sure as heck does, because we got the Rock Ness Monsters challenging the Ballard Brothers for the SoCal Pro Tag Team titles. The Rock Ness Monsters debuted at Redemption, and I want to tell you, as far as a new team storming the scene, that was what the Rock Ness Monsters did, and they dominated the Ballard Brothers. Now, you got to keep in mind, fans, the Ballard Brothers were not prepared for the challenge of Yuma and Good Time. It was an open challenge. It was non-title. Now, having had 2 months to prepare, will the Ballard Brothers be fully ready to take on the challenge of Yuma and Good Time, the Rock Ness Monsters? Or will the Rock Ness Monsters, for them, will lightning strike twice, and will they become the brand new SoCal Pro Tag Team Champions? Fans, it was one of the greatest tag team matches of the year, and I can guarantee you this, you will see a classic on January 9th at New Year's Retribution. Now, ladies, big main event of Reaching New Heights, and that's the reason it's called Reaching New Heights, because it will be the first ever SoCal Pro Wrestling ladder match. In one corner, you're going to have the champion, Tommy Wilson. And in the other corner, you will have the challenger, SoCal Crazy. These guys have been waging a war against one another almost the entire year. And it will come to a head in their final encounter on January 9th. Now this all started back when Tommy Wilson teamed with Crazy to take on Cool Imagery for the tag team titles. And on that night, we saw a side of Tommy Wilson we had never seen before, an aggression, a desperation, a frustration. And that frustration ended up taking itself out on SoCal Crazy. Tommy Wilson brutalized his former friend, busted his teeth, busted his ribs, caused Crazy to have a concussion. Subsequently, Tommy Wilson won the title from Crazy back in August. The timing is everything. And now Crazy finally gets his shot. After winning the SoCal Pro Rumble, Crazy finally gets his rematch. It will be SoCal Crazy taking on Tommy Wilson in a ladder match, New Year's Retribution reaching new heights, and fans, I am telling you this now, this will be the final encounter. You're not going to see a rematch. It's not going to be a situation where, Tommy Wilson wins and Crazy gets another rematch a couple months down the line. Ain't happening. It's not going to be a situation where SoCal Crazy wins the title and Tommy Wilson says, I want my rematch. Ain't happening. This will be the final encounter. If you want to see this feud come to a head, you got to be there at New Year's Retribution. And it's all going to take place on January 9th at the Oceanside Boys and Girls Club. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen what we got to offer at New Year's Retribution reaching new heights. You've seen what SoCal Pro Wrestling is about to deliver. Not an event, but a spectacular. And if you're sitting there, you're watching that video right now on your computer and you're saying, wow, Resnick, that sounds awesome. I want to be there. Wow, Resnick, that sounds like quite the event. I think I'm going to make it, but you know what? I don't know if I can make the drive down. I'm coming from LA. I don't know if I want to go down Oceanside. Or you know what? I'm local, but I don't have anybody to go with. I don't know if I want to go alone. Understandable. But let me tell you something. If that's you, if you're sitting there and you're kind of on the fence, you're not sure if you want to make the trip. It sounds great. You've seen the videos, all the videos we put out. You've seen the recaps. You go, man, those guys at SoCal Pro Wrestling, they put on quite an event. I want to check it out, but I don't know if I can make it down to this next one. If that's you, let me tell you right now, make the trip down. I cannot tell you how many wrestling fans come up to me during the events, after the events, they go, Jeff, man, that was such a great event. Jeff, wow, I love what SoCal Pro Wrestling does. It's kind of like old school wrestling with almost like a new school vibe to it. It's awesome what you guys do. I love it. I love the wrestlers. I love the drama. I love the matches. I want to tell all my friends about SoCal Pro Wrestling. It's incredible. I get that all the time. And I'm telling you, be a part of it. Come on down and shake my hand. We'll chat a little bit of wrestling. Always a good time. Trust me, you will not regret coming to New Year's Retribution. You will not regret being a part of Reaching New Heights. This will be one of the biggest events of the year. Do not miss it.